Brock's back from Salem. Says they ain't talking anything but war. Brock says they wanted him to join a committee of public safety. Says he, what's this here committee supposed to do? And says they, hunt down Tories and tar and feather them. Says he, when it comes to fighting a war, Asa Brock will do it with a rifle gun in hand and not with a tar bucket and a feather bolster.
Your husband shows good sense.
Oh, I guess Asa's all right. He says we better get fixed to move into the fort for autumn. Says he, that's when pesky varmints like best to do their raiding and scalping. Brock says the English is hiring Indians right and left to do their fighting for him. Says he, they've been raiding up north already.
Pa says the southern nations are friendly. They'll keep peace no matter what happens up north.
Friendly? Huh. You can't trust none of them red devils.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. What a boon, what a doer, what a dream come truer. What a boon, what a doer, what a dream come truer was he.
Get out of here, get out of here.
Now then, watch this.
What's that?
Sniff.
Phew!
That ain't the way an old raccoon feels about it. To an old he-raccoon, that's just about the finest smell he could hope to smell.
Pa, that's Mama's friend's perfume.
Shh. Old raccoon might hear you.
They might hear you. Wait till Ma hears you've been using her perfume as bait.
Israel, you want to learn to be a good trapper, don't you? Good. Now, what's the first thing you got to learn?
How to be quiet.
And after you learn how to be quiet, how's your ma gonna know we've been using her French scent to trap raccoon?
One thing for sure, the raccoon ain't gonna tell her.
Daniel! Daniel! Trouble at the cabin. Might be a war party. Will you stay here with Mingo?
Pa, wait for me!
Don't worry, Israel. We'll catch up. And we know if there's anything to catch up to.
Sit still, Hilda. It's all over now.
Oh, I don't know where they come from. Like a bad dream they was. All painted and grinning like Satan himself.
Pa!
Rebecca?
They took her, Pa. We tried to fight back.
They just come, Daniel. They just come right out of nowhere.
Who were they?
I don't know, just Injuns. Ugliest painted things I ever seen.
They didn't even bother with us. They just took Ma.
What happened? Where's Ma? Where's Ma?
She's gone.
As far as we know, she ain't hurt. But she's gone. They took her.
Injuns? You gotta get her back, Pa. You gotta.
We're ready to leave any time, Daniel. You just give us the word.
I don't know who it was, Daniel. They left no sign, nothing.
Asa, you run down Yad and Jake. Bert, you'll most likely find Cliver and the Moles over at the lakes. Tell them to meet us at the fort.
Cincinnatus, none of you are going anyplace. It's plain they were only after Becky.
Well, but Daniel.
We go stampeding after her, she'll be the first one. It's best I go alone.
Daniel, 10 against 1 is long odds. 10 against 2 makes more sense.
All right, Mingo. The rest of you spread the word and keep your eyes open. There'll be beginning of raids all along the Kentucky.
Daniel, I'd be proud to mind your young'uns while you're gone.
But I want to go after Ma with you.
Sure you would, son. But your legs are a mite short to keep up with me and Mingo. And that means it'll take just that much longer to get your ma back. You understand?
I guess you're right, Pa. Only
what?
Just bring her back, Pa. Please, bring her back.
Do you mind what Miss Brock says?
Well, what are you just standing there for? Let's get this place cleaned up and put back together.
I'm afraid that'll only make it worse, Mrs. Boone. And strong men couldn't break that hide.
Oh, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying, you miserable painted heat. You're no Indian.
In the infamy of his nature, man is all things, ma'am. The color of his skin has little to do with it. Allow me. Captain William Butler of His Majesty's Loyal New York Rangers.
His Majesty. Since when does a loyal officer of the Crown wear paint and buckskin instead of a uniform?
Circumstance decrees rank, ma'am. Not brass buttons and golden epaulets. And my Senecas prefer their leaders to adopt their habits and dress.
This isn't Seneca country.
On the contrary, wherever a Seneca walks is Seneca country. A very proud race.
You call it proud to wreck a cabin and steal a woman.
I consider it quite a feat. To travel 200 miles through more or less hostile territory without detection and successfully take captive the wife of Daniel Boone. Indeed, ma'am, a most noteworthy feat.
All that distance just to take me? Why?
Your husband, Mrs. Boone, exercises considerable influence along the frontier. With you in our hands, he might be persuaded to use that influence more judiciously.
When he catches up with you, Captain Butler, Dan's more likely to use his influence to find you a nice, quiet grave.
With you in my hands? Hardly, Mrs. Boone. Nawa, hey. I'd advise you not to resist. Against these braves, it would be futile and possibly fatal.
I get my hands on a gun, it will be fatal. Take your hands off of me, you painted heathen. I can walk on my own.
A little more cheese for the trap, Mr. Boone.
A Seneca medicine bag.
Long, long way from home.
They've never raided this far south before. Seneca may be many things, but they're no fools, Daniel. They'd never leave a trail this plain unless they... It's a trap, and you know it.
All I know is they've got Becky.
So this is Mrs. Daniel Boone.
As I promised. Queen Esther Moncour, first Owachira of the Seneca Nation.
I'm surprised. I thought Daniel had better judgment.
You know my husband?
I knew him. There's a difference. Then he preferred his food well seasoned and his woman with flesh instead of bones.
Esther Moncour. I remember now. Daniel did mention you. Something about an overfed Indian woman with primitive manners.
Skin and bones and a sharp tongue. Poor Daniel. Yahoo, Holly. I don't think any man will risk his life to rescue that.
When honor's lost, 'tis a relief to die. Death's but a sure retreat from infamy. He'll come, Esther. If for no other reason, his honor will force him to.
As usual, Captain, you're right. He's probably out there right now. He'll come, and soon. Perhaps to try to rescue his woman. Perhaps to try to ransom her. But most certainly to try to kill the man that took her. Fair warning, Captain.
The end of the trail, Daniel.
You know whose village that is?
They told him of the Turtle clan, and the Owachira the Seneca calls sacred. Even the Cherokee know of S01E13.
Yeah, I might have known Esther be behind this. It's the way her mind works.
But how do we go about changing her mind?
We don't. Leastways you don't. Esther's got at least 500 warriors in her clan.
Now, Daniel, we've come this far together. We'll go back together.
The odds are different, Mingo. Somebody's got to get back and warn the settlers in Kentucky. So getting Rebecca back is my job. You better get started.
It'll be dark soon. That'll be your best chance.
Health, happiness, a long life. And the success of our plans.
And all the emphasis on the latter. Correct, Captain Butler.
I would hate to match swords with you, Esther. You have a disconcerting way of getting directly to the point.
Every mind has its choice. Truth or peace. The wise learn that you can only take one or the other. No one can have both.
Then to truth. The success of our plans.
Isawak. Boone.
Might be he'd like to tell you that a man with 6 inches of steel at his back can be some uncomfortable.
How did you get past my warriors?
A little tippy-toeing. A little meat for the pot, Esther. I always did hate people who dropped in unexpected with a handful of grabs and a mouthful of thank yous and precious little else.
Unexpected. Not you, Daniel. I should have known better. Achisni atati.
A ranger's uniform, candles. All that's lacking is 30 pieces of silver and a picture of old King George.
Allow me. Daniel, this is William Butler of Schoharie.
Oh, I know the Schoharie butlers. They like to put on war paint and take scalps with the Mohawks.
And kidnap women. White women.
Why my woman, Butler?
Expediency, Boone. Nothing personal, of course.
I'm listening.
Sir Guy Johnston has called a most important council of all the tribes at Sandusky. The southern nations are sending their chiefs. We want you to attend and urge them to accept war belts from the royal commissioners.
Why me?
Simple. Because they'll listen to you.
No other white man has your prestige among the tribes.
Why should I help the tribes against my own people?
Because we hold your wife, Mr. Boone.
We? How do you come into this, Esther?
Well, aren't we all His Majesty's most loyal and faithful allies? Would you like a drink, Daniel?
Looks like I'm going to need it. I take it that if I go along, Rebecca will be sent to Kentucky.
Not exactly. Your wife will be taken to Quebec and held as an honored hostage against your future behavior.
If I decide not to go along?
Then one of my new warriors will get a new wife. A white one.
Well, heaven help the buck that gets her. Rebecca's got a terrible temper. Thanks for the drink.
You mean you refuse our offer?
Afraid so, Butler. Don't worry about it. It was a good try. You may have even done me a favor. Last night, ain't it?
You didn't really think I'd let you walk out of my village, did you, Daniel?
Nope. Just thought I'd give it a try.
You always did have a streak of the catamount in you, Daniel. A most untrustworthy characteristic. That and your ability to bluff rain into sunshine. But this time your bluff won't work. You're going to have to prove your words. There's your woman, Daniel. Such as she is. Tell her what you told us, if you can.
What is your car? I don't know what you're saying, but if it's what I think it is, you pick him up yourself. I wouldn't do that if I were you. What is your car?
Rebecca has a terrible temper.
Well, it's about time you showed up.
Yes, sir. She might be a little on the skinny side, but she's as tough as whang leather. Wouldn't surprise me to see her end up boss of the whole roost.
What are you talking about?
And she's a good worker. Passable cook, too.
Daniel?
What he's saying, dear, is that he has absolutely no intention of removing you from Seneca hospitality.
Tell her. Dan, tell her you're taking me home.
Well, they're just asking too much, Becky. You're just not worth the price.
It's like I said, dear. Daniel's taste runs to finer things. Go noir, Hondo.
Oh, Daniel, wait till I get you home.
Very convincing, Daniel. But not so convincing that my warriors are going to turn their backs on you. Try to escape with her.
Try to escape to where, Esther? You expect me to outrun your Seneca bucks for 200 miles with a woman to hold me back?
If she means so little to you, why did you bother to come after her?
Because she's my woman, and you took her. And what's more, you tore up my cabin. Man's got to protect his property rights, don't he?
Then that's all she means to you, property.
I'll ask any reasonable ransom and I'll pay it. But like I said, your price is way too high.
There'll be no bargaining, Boone. The price stands as quoted.
Tomorrow I turn your wife over to the women for purification. You still have time to change your mind about Butler's offer.
Time won't change my mind, Esther. Something else might. It's one of your own Seneca laws. If a man loses a woman, he has a right to claim another.
No man mocks me, Daniel Boone. Be very, very careful.
It's one of your own laws. And you are single.
And you are the biggest liar in a country that breeds nothing but liars.
True. But this time you aren't sure, are you?
What makes you think I'd consider a white man? Any white man?
Why not? You're half white.
I'm Queen Esther, first Owachera of the Turtle clan of the Seneca Nation.
You're Esther Moncour, and you were raised as a white woman by your father in Quebec. Look at your longhouse, Esther. Outside, it's pure Indian. Inside, it's as white as an Albany merchant's townhouse.
I hate all white men.
And why are you doing business with Butler and the British?
Because they have promised that when the rebellion is put down, no white man will be allowed west of the Alleghenies. We'll have our land back. We'll build an Indian nation strong enough to keep even the British out if they go back on their word.
You believe that?
I've got to. If life is to have any meaning for me at all, it isn't easy to live on the edge of two worlds.
The trouble is, I don't think you're sure you settled for the right one. Might be I can help you make up your mind.
Daniel, don't make a fool of me.
No one can make a fool of you, Esther. Come in, Butler. Been expecting you.
The stories about you don't really do you justice, Boone. Any man who can fool Esther Moncourt has to be a legend.
But I don't fool you.
Well, let's just say we understand each other. Now, what is it you really want?
500 Seneca warriors.
I see. You're meddling in dangerous matters, Boone.
Profits are born of taking risks, Captain. Take you, for example. You take risk as a soldier. Why?
Loyalty to the king?
Not the William Butler I've heard of. He wouldn't risk getting shot or worse for a handful of empty words, a few empty titles.
Well, naturally, there will be honors and preferments when the rebellion is put down. The crown is not ungrateful to loyal subjects.
How grateful? Money? Land?
I shall receive 10,000 acres of rich bottomland when the war is over.
That makes good sense. And how grateful would the crown be for 500 Seneca warriors?
What are you suggesting?
Esther Moncourt controls 500 Seneca warriors. And I've got a hunch I might end up controlling Esther. How would you like 500 Seneca braves against you instead of for you? They're on the market, Captain. Make your bid.
I'll have to think about that.
Think hard and fast, Butler. I'm not a patient man. Only one thing missing.
What's that?
Throne for the Queen.
Do you like it?
All I can say is that any woman in Kentucky would give her right arm for one like it.
If I'm to be courted, I felt I should dress for the occasion. Achisne ateti. Listen, I rustle. I'd forgotten how lovely it feels to rustle when I move.
Might be you've forgotten how it feels to be a lady.
Could I be a lady? A fine lady? An acceptable lady? Could I go to a ball and not hear whispers about presumptuous half-breed savages?
You're already a queen, Esther. Being a lady is almost the same thing.
Daniel, could you kiss such a lady?
Well, my regrets for the intrusion, Esther. I didn't know you were engaged.
Come on in, Captain. Join the party.
For this occasion, only my best Madeira will do.
Perhaps a toast is in order, Boone. My compliments. You are quick to seize your opportunities.
Like I said, I'm not a patient man.
What is that supposed to mean?
I was merely congratulating Boone on being captive to so beautiful a captor.
Well, Captain, perhaps the roles are reversed. Perhaps it is I who am the captive.
To Queen Esther and her new consort.
wasn't any other way.
Well, you could have told.
Keep that up and you can tell him yourself. It's the first chance I've had to reach you.
I knew it had to be a lie. I knew you had to be pretending. It was just that woman. Oh, Dan, get us out of here. I don't care how hopeless it is. Just get us home.
Well, we might make it. Wouldn't be easy, but we just might make it.
Well, then, what is it?
Esther's joined up with the British. She has 500 warriors behind her. A war party that size could wipe out every settlement from Fort Pitt to the Georgia Grants.
What could you do?
Well, I've known Esther for a long time, since the French Wars. She likes me about as much as she likes any white man. I've been playing up to her.
What do you mean you...
Well, I mean, whatever it takes to change her mind about the British.
Are you telling me or asking my permission?
Well, it's more than that. Esther's turning you over to the old women tomorrow for purification. They'll make a Seneca woman out of you so you can marry one of their men. It isn't pleasant, Becky. And it'll last 3 days. But in that time, I think I'll be able to find a way to break up Esther's British alliance.
And you want me to give you those 3 days?
What are you thinking?
About Israel and Mima. How awful it'll be for them if things go wrong and they have to grow up without us. And I'm thinking about all those other families on the border where cabins are built and land cleared. Children. And I'm thinking if we have a chance to get away, we should go right now for Israel and Mima's sake. And I'm thinking what 500 painted savages turn loose on all those other families. I guess we have to stay. Oh, Dad, I'm afraid. So terribly afraid.
This must be delivered to Colonel Sir Guy Johnston at Niagara. I must have his reply no later than tomorrow night. Tell him that. The 30 pieces of silver you asked for, Boone. But I vow you'll never live to enjoy them.
Are you sure she means nothing to you?
I don't like to see anyone suffer.
I'm glad you said that. I would not like you to lie to me.
The whole world is full of lies. You can't help telling some. You can't help believing some.
For a man without a care in the world, you seem to be carrying quite a load.
You've got anything to say it.
Not I, Boone. Superintendent of Indian Affairs. Just got back by messenger from Niagara. He's made a generous offer. A most generous offer for your services.
King's commission with rank and pay of Captain Rangers. What else?
Honors, preferments, and titles appropriate to your rank when the rebellion is crushed.
Meaning land.
Every loyalist will receive a land grant when the war is over.
Where's His Majesty going to get all this land? There's not that much fertile land in the whole 13 colonies.
The king's grants extend to the Mississippi River.
That's Indian land.
Do you suppose the British Lion will permit a few paltry savages to stand in the way of just rewards for honest people?
Honest people. I suppose it's all in how you look at it.
Do you accept the offer?
You're a fool not to under the circumstances.
Then I suggest you press on in your courting of Esther. We shall all feel more comfortable when the loyalty of her 500 warriors is assured.
I was just thinking the same thing.
What the devil does Sir Guy mean by that kind of offer? Where does he expect to get the land?
All the land west of the mountains, clear to the Mississippi.
That land belongs to us.
I mentioned that to Captain Butler, and he said he didn't suppose the British land would let a few paltry savages stand in the way of the just rewards for honest people. His words, Esther, not mine.
You sent for me?
What's the meaning of this, Butler?
What about it? It merely offers a commission in the royal service to Mr. Boone.
And the land. The 10,000 acres that go along with such a commission. Where were you going to get the land?
We will naturally appropriate lands belonging to rebels against the king.
The rebels aren't holding that much land. Perhaps you were going to take it from a few paltry savages west of the mountains. Your words, Mr. Butler. Deny them if you can.
I can't deny them, madam. I do. I never said such a thing. Whoever told you otherwise is the liar, not I.
Boone?
Which of us do you want to believe, Esther?
Esther, don't you see what he's doing? What he's been doing all along. Pretending not to care what happens to his wife. Pretending to court you. And all the time trying to divide you from your loyalty and allegiance to the crown.
Tell him that he lies.
I can't do that. It's true. One wife is all I need or want.
Why did you lie to me?
To save my friends from your Senecas and to keep you out of a war that's none of your concern. That's the truth. You have to decide for yourself which of us is the liar.
No. I won't decide. You will. You both will, with your lives. Watch his eye. Daniel.
For a man who faces what you face tomorrow, you sleep well.
Reckon I'm going to need all the strength I can get.
Yes, you will.
What are you planning, Esther?
You and Butler will run a race. A race for your lives.
Daniel, why did you do it?
Save my wife. Save my friends. Including you.
Friend. Like all white men. I learned a long time ago in Quebec. All of the fine young men. I gave my heart to them. And then one night I heard two of them talking about me. Moncourt's half-breed daughter. Moncourt's savage. That's what they called me. And they laughed. How they laughed. I have put men to death for less than that. I've sent them into fire. But nothing I have ever done to them was half as cruel as the laughter of those young white men. And now you have made a fool of me, too. And I have come to hear your laughter.
It wasn't that way with us. And you didn't come to hear me laugh. You came to hear what isn't true. And no matter what you plan tomorrow, it's important for you to know that. I was thinking of you, as well as my family and my people, and your people. You're taking them into a war with a king who cares nothing about you, and who's already planning to rob you as soon as the fighting's ended.
And what difference does it make? Everyone lies to us. We're a dying people. We started to die when the first white man came into our country. But I promise you this. We will not die easily.
I know that. But in the end, you'll be wiped out. Root and branch. man, woman, and child. The world will never even know there was a Seneca nation. And that isn't being brave, Esther. It's the cowardice of despair. It takes more courage to live at peace than to die fighting someone else's war.
My warriors will not go to war with a king. As for the rest, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
For you, our most special entertainment, the oldest of the Seneca Games, the race for life. When the first gun is fired, you will start running the course marked by the lances around the post of life. Try and leave the course, and you will die. When the second gun is fired, the best of my runners will follow after you. They will try to overtake you and kill you, but they must run the same course. That's why we call it a game. If they fail, and if you survive the course and return here, you will then entertain us with the knives and tomahawks. The game will end when one or the other is dead.
Oh, Dad.
Daniel, take your woman and go. Fortune seems blind to those upon whom she bestows no favors. Count your blessings, Rebecca Boone.
I almost feel sorry for her.
She's a queen, Becky. Whatever else she might be, she's still a queen. And we'd better get out of here before she remembers she's a woman.
Here, Isra, read this one.
Candy, Spandy, Jacka, Dandy loves
Plum cake.
and sugar candy. He
Bought.
some at a grocer's shop.
Grocer.
Grocer's,
Grocer.
grocer's,
Grocer.
oh shop, and out he came, hop, 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 hop.
Well, that ought to be about enough nursery rhymes for tonight, young'un.
Oh, he only read 10.
And 10 last night, and 10 the night before.
And 10 the night before that.
Please, Mrs. Brock, they might come home tonight.
Look, young'un, you've been saying that every night for 2 weeks. Now, you gotta get to sleep sometime. Come on, up you go. Up you go. Come on. Up you go. Hop, hop, hop. Oh, Lord love us. It's a miracle.
Oh, Ma! 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 Ma!
Oh, my.
Ma!
you probably bring me back. I just knew it.
Of course you couldn't. I was aiming to go fetch you myself.
Becky Boone, I got a mind to haul you over my knee. Walking in here all fit out like some savage. Well, what are you doing in them heathen skins?
This? Oh, this is my wedding dress.
Wedding?
Well, you don't think I'd go through those Seneca purification rites for any other reason, do you? Oh, and your father was going to give me away, weren't you?
Give you away?
You explain it.
Huh?
Time for bed.
Well, the Senecas had Becky, and they decided that she should get married, and I decided to go along with them. Well, I mean, there wasn't any other way to go about it. Rebecca, come back. Becky. It's nice to have you with us, Miss Brock.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he.